this is what great leaders do, whether it's presidents or leaders of companies. Steve Jobs, I would argue Musk is that way, is to walk into a room full of people who don't want you to create drama. It's weird, man. When people just kind of want to be nice, the niceness creates momentum, and nobody wants to. It's the systems thing. Everybody just behaves in the way they were previously behaving, in the way they're supposed to behave, and nobody wants to raise a fuss. It takes a great man or woman leader to step in and say, what we've been doing is bullshit. Okay, you're fired. You're cool. What is it that?
Right. I'm out.
Yeah. I think you have to create constant revolutions within a company. That's very, very difficult to do. Structurally and psychologically, it's very difficult to do. To be able to sort of, to constantly challenge the way things have been done in the past, and which is why another way it's often done is a startup, like a small company. Basically, a small company becomes really successful and then no longer can turn the ship. So a new startup comes along,
Right.
a new competitor that then challenges the big ship, and then that starts out the winner. That's like Google came to be. That's how Twitter came to be, and Facebook, and so on. And Apple has, that was the dream of Steve Jobs, is it would succeed for many decades, for like centuries. That was the idea, that you would keep creating revolutions. And under Steve Jobs, Apple successfully pivoted a bunch of times,
right?
Just like reinvented themselves,
which is funny.
Very difficult to do.
Because I mean, I've heard, at least I don't know if this is accurate because I wouldn't know anything, but I've heard plenty of people complain about Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
but in reality, the reason that all of these amazing things were done was because this person was willing to, well, obviously brilliant, and then also willing to rattle everyone's cage periodically and say, hey, what's going on is not what we need to be doing.
That's a really interesting thing. So he would rattle the cage, but he would also, I don't know if those are intricately connected or always have to be connected, but he would just be a dick. So
maybe by his standard, I am lazy and worthless.
Well, he would say that to you.
Is he being a dick though? If by his standard, I mean, like, again, it's like everyone's stupid compared to somebody, I guess.
But so you apparently are able to take that kind of thing. It's sometimes you cross. There's ways to cross the line, and I mean, this is okay. The fascinating thing about being a leader, especially a leader of companies, is it's a people problem. So each individual in a room. So as a leader, you're only really interacting with a small number of people because they're leaders of other smaller groups and so on. But each of those individuals in the room have their own different psychology. Some like to be pushed to the limit. Some like to be screamed at. Some are very soft spoken and almost afraid to speak, and they have to be. You have to hear them out. Like and those could be all superstars. We're not talking about like the C students. We're talking about the A+ students.
Well, it's funny that but the thing the skill to manage all of those people is completely separate from the skill to innovate something. I mean, not that they're not connected, but it's funny how it's almost like why do we have shitty representatives?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing that you do to get elected has nothing to do with governance.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's exactly it. But the great leaders have to have both skills. So like you have to have the boldness of. And if you look at the great presidents through history, usually it's in a time of crisis is when they step up. But they basically say, okay, stop this old way that Congress works, of this bickering, of this like compromise bullshit. Here's a huge plan that costs billions of dollars, and today's age, trillions of dollars. No extra pork, no extra additions. Just like, here's a clear plan. We're going to build the best road network the world has ever seen, or we're going to build some huge infrastructure project. We're going to revolutionize internet, or we're going to, for coronavirus, we're going to build the largest like testing facility the world has ever seen in terms of we're going to get everybody tested several times a day, all those kinds of things, huge projects, and say, fuck all this, the details that everybody's bickering about. We're going to give everybody $2,000. We're going to give everybody $3,000. Like huge projects. And at the same time, so that's the boldness and the leadership and saying, throw out all the bullshit of the past. And at the same time, be able to get in the room with the leaders of both parties, or with the powerful individuals, and smooth talk the shit out of them. in the way they need to be smooth talked to. So like both of those skills, it seems to be when they're combined in one person, that creates great leaders. Musk appears to have that. Elon, I don't know if Steve Jobs. It's interesting. So the criticism of Steve and a little bit on Elon is he misses some of the human part. But maybe it's impossible to have a really. You have like Satya Nadella, who's the CEO of Microsoft. You have who's really good on the human side, really, really good on the human side. Like everybody loves him. The CEO of Google and Alphabet is also the same way. So like, I don't know if it's possible to have both.
You only get so many stat points.
Yeah, you only get in this RPG of life. Yeah.
That's right.